Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we're going to be making a pair of winter themed earrings. So the first thing that we are going to need is our white Primo clay. I have it rolled out on my thickest setting. And then I just took my glitter silver Primo clay and I just sliced it off just a tiny bit. And I am going to take this and just make little lines throughout my white clay. So I'm just going to take my silver and very thinly slice off and put it on my white clay in different areas. When we roll this through, it'll give us a nice little blended look. I don't need a lot, just a tiny bit. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to roll this through my pasta machine. And it'll end up looking like that. So then I'm going to fold it and then I'm going to run it through again. And I'm just going to keep doing that until this is completely blended. You can see it's starting to come through because I don't want it very dark. I just want it light. Okay, so now that's what I'm looking for. Now I rolled that out on my second thickest setting. So now that I have that, I'm going to get my, this is like a little tree stamp type of roller thing. I'm not sure what you really call these, but I got this off at Etsy. I'll try to look up the link to it, so if you're interested, you could get it. But I'm just going to take this and I'm going to roll. And I'm going to press nice and hard so I get a nice indentation. There we go. And you can see it's very light, but that little bit of silver is popping through. And that's what I'm looking for. So my next step is I have these metallic rub-ons. So I'm going to take my silver and I'm just going to go over the tree area. Just very lightly. You don't have to press hard. And I'm not going all the way down because I don't plan on using the bottom. So now you can see that the trees are highlighted. Okay. Then I'm going to pick out the areas that I like. Okay, so my next step is I'm just going to use the same clay. So I have this area, or this little bird, stenciled out. I just drew it, nothing fancy. And I'm just going to cut around it. Now you could do that, or if you have a bird cutter, you could use that. This bird cutter is not exactly what I'm looking for. I'll show you why. Let me see. Let's pop that out. It almost looks like it's in flight, and I don't want it to be in flight. So I'm going to not use that. I'm actually going to take this, and I'm going to roll this out thinner because I want my bird to be thin. So I'm going to take a section of this, I'm going to roll it out 2 levels down. So that's about the thickness that I want. So I'm going to take that, and now I'm just going to cut and trace it out. I'm going to flip it because I want it to be the opposite side then. I'm going to do the same thing. And that's what it looks like. So nothing fancy right now. And I'm just going to smooth this little guy out and kind of reshape him a little bit. And I want him to his body to kind of go over a bit. So I'm going to move him over. And I'm going to put these guys right next to each other when I'm putting the details on, so I know that they're similar to each other. I want my little birds to look very similar. Now I'm going to just cut out 2 little, there, so we have like a little teardrop shape. So I'm actually going to, because the micro cutters, sometimes they get stuck, I'm going to put a little bit of saran wrap over this. I'm going to cut out 2 of those. And these will be their wings. And I'm just going to set them right on. There we go. Now I'm getting a flat tool here, and I'm going to kind of put little marks in for the feathers on the head. And just putting little lines in. Okay. And then this guy, we're going to make little feather marks on the wings. So I'm having it by the corner or on the side, and I'm just going to press down, and that's going to give me little indentations that look like feathers. And then the other side is just a pointy one, and I'm just going to kind of mark it up, give it some texture. For the face, because we went up on the head, now we're going to go over, because we want to kind of make sure the feathers are going in different directions. Get that a little skinnier. Okay. And I'm just going to take 2 tiny little dots. I'm going to put that by the eye area. You see how small they are? Just want to smooth this out a bit. So my next step is I have this pan pastels, okay, and I got red out, and I am just going to tap. I am not going to rub it because I don't want to smear it, and I do not want to ruin what I just did. So all I'm doing is patting up and down to make sure my little bird, my little cardinal, gets all the red on it. Okay. Then I have black, and I just want the tiniest amount. So I have a very small paintbrush, and I'm just going to get the very tip of it, and I'm going to go over by its eyes. And I'm going to very lightly highlight around its face. I'm going to put a little bit where my red didn't get. And I mean, you really need just very, very little. Not a lot at all. Okay, let me clean that brush. And now I'm just going to get a little red on my brush and kind of go over my little wing area again. Try to get in those little areas that I couldn't get. I'll highlight the eyes afterwards. Now I'm just blowing the extra dust off of them. I do not want that dust on my earrings. So very carefully lift your guy up. Find out exactly where you want him. I'm going to put him on a little angle like that. I'm not pressing them down yet, just in case I have to move them. And I have my earring pieces right next to each other because I want to make sure, once again, that everything is as close as possible of being level. Make sure your hands do not have any of that pastel on them before you touch your earrings, because I have a little white here now, or a little red. So I'm going to scrape that off because I don't want red on my earring here. Okay. Once you're happy with the placement, push it down very carefully. Don't touch the white anywhere. I'm spraying alcohol on my hands to get the pastel off so I don't get anything on my actual earrings. I want to, where's my, I'm going to take my little thing and I'm just going to carefully press this down without distorting it to make sure it stays. Okay, so I'll do his beak and his eyes after it's baked. My next step is going to be to make a noodle. And I want to make one branch that makes it look like they're sitting on it or standing on it. I want to bring this guy up. Put him right underneath them. Maybe put that facing down. And I'm just blending this in. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And I'm just going to press on my little twigs here to give it some texture. There we go. And I'm just going to clean that up. Clean that side up. I'm going to get my little hole puncher. And I'm going to punch my little holes. When you're punching your holes, make sure you get them right in the middle, but do not get close to the edge. If you get too close to the edge, you run the risk of breaking your piece. And lastly, I have these tiny little, I don't know what these are called. If anybody knows, please let me know. I actually bought these off of a lady that was going out of business. And they're little silver beads, like tiny little balls. And this is a wax stick. And I am just going to pick these up and put them on here and kind of make them look like snow. These are so pretty. I think they're really going to help bring out this piece. How pretty that is, guys, with those little beads. So now I'm going to throw this in the oven at 275 because this is my Primo clay. And I'm going to put it in for a half hour. And then we'll come back and finish up the last of the details. Our pieces are out of the oven. And I got to say, guys, those little silver beads look really cool. I'm super happy with them. So I realized I forgot to put silver on my last branch. So we're going to do that along with the eyes and the beak. Okay. So I'm going to start out with the eyes. And I have my black paint. And I am just going to, because you just need the smallest amount. I'm not even going to put it on anything. I'm just going to stick the brush in and dot my eyes. If you see any other areas that you kind of want to add a little bit of black, do that now. And I'm just going to do a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, I'm just going to do the beak. And I'm going to do the same thing because I need very, very little. And then lastly, I am going to do the little bit over my tree. And I'm not going to do a lot. I just want to touch it very lightly. Just want to kind of highlight it a bit. Sometimes less really is more when it comes to paint. That's a mess. Let that dry. And while that's drying, because it only takes a few minutes, we're going to get ready to do the back. I decided the back I want to add glitter to. So I have my tiny Pandora brush on UV finish. And what I ended up doing was, after it cooled off before I started recording, I just did a quick sand right around the edges and lightly on the back. And I noticed that the back really just isn't very pretty. So I'm going to put some UV on it, and I'm going to add some pretty glitter. And everything is dry. So I'm going to flip my pieces over and try to get them as level as possible. Let me see. I'm going to put something under them just to keep them leveled. There we go. And I'm going to put it right on my tray right away so I don't have to move them too much afterwards. I'm just going to pour a little bit on there. Oops, and then spread it. I'm just pulling this out to the sides. Okay, so that one looks pretty good. If it needs fixed, we'll fix it as we go. But let's start on the next one. See if I have enough. I think. Going right around my hole, trying to avoid getting any of the UV in the hole. I'm just going to keep pulling my resin out. I know I keep calling it UV. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I do that. It's resin. I'm going to keep pulling my resin out. And I'm happy with that. That looks pretty good. Almost feel like this one's too... There we go. Let's get that a little bit more over. All right, so now I'm going to put this under my light and let this cure. And while that is curing, what I'm going to do next is get all my pieces ready for putting my earrings together. All right, so now my pieces are completely dried. They're a little lumpy. I'm not happy with that, but I think maybe what I'll do is I'll probably sand them down a bit after this video and then just put another glaze or another coat over it to kind of level it out. This one came out fairly nice, but I'll finish that all up after the video. I just want to kind of show you what the next steps are going to be. So I'm going to get my glaze, and this is Sculpting satin glaze, and that's what I'm going to use on the top. I'm going to get the birds last, just in case any of the red kind of wants to come off. And I want to spread it onto my background here. Okay, now I'm going to get my bird. And that I'm just going to pat up and down. All right, now I'm just going to let that completely dry. So our pieces are dried, and I just think these came out fantastic. I love all the little silver beads and the silver trees. It really, and this gloss really made it shine nicely. And then the back, I'm real happy with these. So let's finish these up. So I have my jump rings, and I'm just going to slip them into the hole. I want to keep it simple, so I have these little balls, and they have this little like circle already put on there, like a little opening. So they're real simple. You just put them onto the jump ring, and you close your jump ring all the way, and then your earring is complete. So I really like these ones. They're very simple, and they're cute and very easy. I like easy. I like when my fit-ins are simple to put on. So once again, we're just going to put the jump ring on. I'm going to put the jump ring in the little circle and then close. And that's it, guys. So now we have a pair of winter cardinal earrings. And I really think these came out just adorable. They're going to be fun. I think these are going to look really cute, which is a plain black dress, or even like a white dress would look really nice. And then like a silver necklace or something. That would look really pretty. If you guys did enjoy creating these pieces with me, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. I am planning on doing winter earrings every day this week, a new pair, and I hope you guys follow along and have some creative fun with me. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.